and welcome to my channel. Today, before we get into today's video is about my plant updates. So stick around if you want to see that.
When I saw the girl called Ladybird, I bet.
Hello guys, and welcome to my channel. I am Crystal Winchester, and today is my plant update video, where I go through all of my plants and give you some really cool updates. So like always, we start with my aloe vera plant. So this plant is a very, very cool plant if you burn yourself in the kitchen or anywhere in the house, especially the kitchen, because a lot of burns happen in the kitchen. But this is a really good plant to have inside. I would suggest, if you want to have lots of these, to plant one inside like a little soil thing. This one has holes in the bottom. That's recommended for an aloe. And then just plant one outside, because aloe plants will grow about 10 babies a year. So if you are like really prone to burns or something and you want to have lots of these around, definitely have one inside, plant one outside. They don't require much, just water. So now, we are going to move on to my Christmas cactuses, which I'm really, really excited about because it's getting to that time of year where these guys could possibly give buds, which is going to be amazing. So we have this guy right here, which is growing quite well, and then we have this one over here, which is growing quite well as well. What I do is I check it every morning. If the soil looks dry, I water it just a little bit. If it does not look dry, I just leave it alone for the next day or two, however long it takes it to soak up the water, because these are part of the cactus family, which means they don't require a lot of water. So I'm moving on to the next Christmas cactus. This is one of the cactuses I bought last year around Christmas time, because they were out, they were on sale. And this one is growing a few leaves. If you saw my video last week, you will see why I talk about you don't know if it's going to be a bud or a leaf until it grows out just a bit. Because last week, this little leaf was all red and you couldn't really tell what it was until it came out. And now, a week later, it's growing green, so it is a leaf at this point. So again, I just check the water every day. I fertilize it every couple of weeks. It seems to love that. So again, you want holes in the bottom of your plants for these as well. I just have a little dish up here that I have it on so it collects the water, which is always amazing. And then I have a tray down here for these three, because they have holes in the bottom of the dishes as well. So we're going to start with this one. This one has been growing like crazy since I took over caring for it. And I'm really hoping that this little guy will produce some buds this year. The bud season is usually around, I think it's about on Halloween through New Year's. So that's usually the time of year where you get buds. I'm really excited to see if we get any buds this year. Last year we did it because this one was trying to grow itself, because it was dying really bad. So this one is a good chance of growing buds. So we have this one right here, which is really pretty, and it's growing lots of leaves, which is always amazing. So yeah, look at that. That looks amazing. So yeah, I'm really excited to see if any of these Christmas cactuses will produce buds this year. I'm really excited to see that. So we have this one right here, which has grown a few leaves, which is amazing. What you can do, I don't know if I'm going to do it this year or not, because all the stuff is going on. You can put these outside or in a place where it's really cold at night, so they get that cold feeling, because in here, I'm not going to have it so cold because of my orchids. They can't be really cold, so I might move these like to a cold area during the night. I'll put in them when I go to bed, and I'll bring them out when I come out. So that's something that you can do to kind of help get them producing buds, I think is how you do it. So now we're going to move on to my beautiful Phalaenopsis orchids. Those are the only ones I grow because I love them so much. Because they're buds. These buds can last up a year. you can have buds on a phal for about a year. So everything is looking good on this guy. The roots are looking amazing, by the way. Everything is looking good. I've lost a couple of flowers this past week, and this one's going to be going soon as well. What you want to do with orchids of any type, as long as the flower spike is a nice green color, you're good to go. For the roots are a little difficult. You can't tell by color with roots. With the roots, you actually have to feel them. And I have one for an example of ones that have dead roots that you have to cut off. And I'll show you those in just a second. So here's this guy. I've been changing its water every few days because little stuff is getting into it. But I have it right there. Green roots, just always a good sign. But you can only tell if you can feel them. And I'm going to show you in just a second on the next one what the roots look like and how they feel when they have died. So we have this one, which has grown a secondary spike here, and it's grown another spike here. And on this one, I'm going to show you what the dead roots look like and feel like. Again, you can't tell if roots are healthy or if they're dead just by looking at them. So right here, we have one right here. As you can see, it's very mushy. It didn't take much pressure to smush it. That tells me it's a dead root. So what you want to do, or something that I do quite a lot, is I get my clippers, I get a flame, I put the flame to the clippers for like 10 seconds at least on each blade, and then I cut the roots as far up as the dead root is. So if it feels mushy, again, you can't tell by color, but if it feels mushy, it's a dead root. If it feels firm, like one of these, see this one is nice and firm. I'm not squishing it by touching it as gently as I usually do. So if it's a firm root, it is a healthy root. If it's mushy and it takes very little pressure to smash it, it's a dead root. So you need to get your clippers, your flame, put the flame on the clippers for about 10 seconds per blade, and then cut it off till you feel the firm part. So now we're going to get to my last orchid over here, which is this guy, which kind of fell out of its pot, which I do need to get better pots for these guys. But as you can see, these roots have been growing. These are the only ones that are in water. We have roots growing all over the place, which if you want to try water culture for your orchids, it's a very, very good idea to do. That way they get lots and lots of water. I'm going to try to put this guy back in without it falling out again. It's a very good thing to do because it's only 10% of the roots are in water and the rest are in air, which gives it plenty of time to drink as much water as it wants, but still have growth space where it's not feeling suffocated at all. So now I'm going to tell you about the fertilizers I use, because this week is fertilizing week, which is always fun for me. So this, I'll have a few links for the orchid grow in the description below. This is for blooming. This is for blooming, which I have two in blooming right now. You use this if your orchid is growing a flower spike or has buds or is in bloom right now. This is the one you want to use for that. And then this one is just for regular growing. It's just for regular growing, like growing roots, you're growing leaves. This is the one you want to use. And what I do is, on the package, it tells you how much you should use per gallon of water. I did the math. Since I don't use a whole gallon, I use that much right there. I hope it's focusing. I hope you're focusing. Yeah, that's how much I use for each. And what I do with my orchids, I get rainwater, which I collect from outside. You use rainwater or distilled water. If you want to use tap water, you have to check the hardness of your water, which is why I just skip that step and just use distilled or rainwater. Distilled water you can buy at the store for like $1 for a gallon. So, depending what store you go to. I know when Dixie sells it for under $1, I think Walmart sells it for under $1. You just have to look at that. So You can use distilled water or you can use rainwater, which I collect outside. I have a barrel outside that I collected from. So what I do is I fill up just enough water so that all the roots will be touching the water for each one I'm doing, because I have 2 in the blooming booster, I have 2 in the growing booster. So I just make sure it's just enough water for the roots to touch. And then I mix the fertilizer, each fertilizer in its own dish. I make sure that's all mixed, and then I put them in there for 1 hour. They go in there for 1 hour, and for me, I've had no issues. I've had nothing dying on me because I just leave it in there for an hour. So I think that's just enough time for my orchids to get the fertilizer that they need, and then we're moving on. And for my aloe and Christmas cactuses, I use this. I use Miracle-Gro. I use Miracle-Gro a lot for everything. I use their fertilizer. I use their potting soil, which my aloe and Christmas cactuses are in that potting soil, by the way. The potting soil I use is Miracle-Gro Moisture Control. That way you never overfeed your plant, which is always a good thing. So this is the one I use for my Christmas cactuses and my aloe. And again, it's every 2 weeks. I don't put it in a dish. I don't have to do that. I just mix up a certain amount of water with it. Again, I use the same tablespoon. And I just pour a little bit into each one. If I need to make more, I make more. But it's better to not have enough than have too much. So that is going to be it for this week's plant update. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please don't forget to check out my vlogging channel, my pet channel, which is all about Koji over there. The links are in the description below. Please like this video if you liked it. Comment if you have any questions or concerns or just want to chat. I'm cool with that. And please share this video to get it out there. And if you are not subscribed here, please hit the subscribe button so you never miss these amazing updates. And I will see you guys real soon.